Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Horst Lüning. I'm the senior taster of Whisky.com, and today we have an old friend here on my cask. It's the Balvenie Single Barrel. But not only the single barrel, but the single barrel from first fill, ex-bourbon casks, and 12 years of age. And this is the cask number 452, and the bottle is 158. So we have single casks, single barrels. So an American ex-bourbon barrel is called here a single barrel as well, not a cask. And if you're finding such bottles somewhere on the shelf of your local dealer, then you might see a different cask. So the tastes I will find in this bottle will be different to those you have, but not completely, because the casks are selected the same way, so everything is first fill and the age is constant, so they are comparable but not really the same. There had been a lot of different single cask bottlings from Balvenie on the market, and then they had multiple casks and finishes on the market, and these 12-year-old single barrel came out later than the others, and the first I remember was in the 90s, late 90s, was a 15-year-old single barrel from Balvenie, but the 15-year-old had been vanished from the market. I think they were too old and they were able to get the same results or revenues by using 12-year-old. So talking about the price, it's in the 70s, so it's not cheap, but you get a little bit more of ABV, so 47.8 from this cask. Your cask might have different strengths. So I'm not quite sure if this one is really a cask strength. They do not tell. So probably they are diluted down to a drinking strength of 47.8, but otherwise they would write cask strength on it. Single cask did not mean cask strength in total. So you might have single casks which are diluted down to a special ABV. Yeah, so single barrel first fill. Characterized by sweetness and subtle vanilla oak. That's what you expect from a Balvenie. You have this honey sweetness typically in the taste, and from the ex-bourbon cask first fill you should get vanilla as well as caramel. Very tight. Extremely good cork, very fruity, extremely fruity. It's the typical bottle from Balvenie, which they now have for close to 2 decades. And I find this bottle quite interesting, attractive, but the label is, for my personal taste, a little bit too big. There's a lot of information on the label, so it's not wasted, but you can't see the color of the whiskey, which is unchill filtered and uncolored. Yeah, so give it a try. Full, complex, fruitiness, a lot of fruitiness, sweet honey notes. The vanilla is not here immediately, no. It's more the attractive fruitiness, freshness, honey note. Yeah, cheers. Now there is the oiliness, the maltiness, very deep. Spiciness from the first fill casks, the American oak, are smoother, but they develop spice as well. Yeah, so this is full volume, cladding your mouth, giving subtle spiciness, a hint of pepper, but this might be a result from, this is the first one I have this evening for tasting. I typically have 2 or 3 bottles I will taste, and this is the very first, so the impact of the spiciness might be a little bit too tough, along with a sweet note in the aftertaste. Definitely complex, intense, spiciness, alcoholic intensity. So I have a little sweat on my bald head. And I do not find this vanilla they talk about, but I find the American oak. Complex, rich, yes, everything. So I would suggest that the other casks you might find on your shelf would have more vanilla and more caramel due to the first fill. This one has more the distillery character and more the spiciness of the oak than the caramel and vanilla from the American white oak. Yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. There's more to come.